What do you do for a living?
I'm an accountant, but I also have background in finance. So I have a private practice that I offer bookkeeping and accounting services to small businesses, but not only bookkeeping and accounting, but financial management as well.
Yeah. What is the top 3 best financial advice as it concerns bread making?
Making or managing?
Both.
So let's start with making, right? Because I think what we fall victim of a lot of time is we try to do what we see being done. And I think some of the best way to make money is to do what is not being done. To kind of identify the lack and the scarcity and try and... So I was once told one time, if you see a problem, it means that you are to provide a solution. And that's a good way to carve out niches for ourselves by seeing what is scarce, what is not available, and trying to provide that.
Yeah.
So that's making. Managing. Budgeting is very, very, very important. I know we speak about budgeting all the time and people just see it as writing down figures on a piece of paper and saying how you're to spend your money. And while that is so, it is teamed with discipline. So if you write down these things and you don't have the discipline to stay within the parameters that you've set for yourself, then the exercise would have been futile to begin with. Then why did you do it outside of just a ritualistic activity?
How much money would you say is safe to have in an emergency fund?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because that's so relative though, because life can throw you some huge lemons, you know. I know that the best practice is that you have 6 months of your expenses set aside in the event that anything happens. But sometimes what happens wipe out that 6 months in a second.
Like COVID?
Right. Right. Exactly. Nobody was prepared for a 2-year pandemic. So I would say try to set aside as much as you possibly can, but 6 months is the benchmark.
What's the difference between stocks and bonds?
All right, so that's such a common question.
Isn't it?
Yes, it is. When you purchase stock, in layman's term, what you're doing, you're buying a part of the business. When you purchase a bond, however, you are loaning a company money. So the company would advertise they need $5 million, for example. Well, it might not be advertised, but they need $5 million, and they're willing to borrow from you at a particular rate. So you get an interest return. How you earn from stocks is different too. So with stocks, you get dividends at the end of a financial period. And or if the value of the stock appreciates and you decide to sell, then there's a profit margin on that. So you earn differently from the stock than you do the bond. The bond is just the interest.
Sure. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.